I'm Sean Spencer from NFN Coaching, and welcome back. And you guessed it, I had a little bit more to add on to happiness and unhappiness, but this time it's versus expectations. What do I mean by that? Well, when it comes to your emotional quality of experience, right? It's often the expectations that we have in our mind's eye and the way that we visualize particular things ahead of time and compare that to what the real world is actually showing. That's when we usually screw ourselves over a little bit. All right. It's where we actually set up a lot of the conditions for us to experience more unhappiness than happiness. And no one's immune from this. I myself have been trying to raise the finances that I would like to have available so that I could create particular projects and everything stuff that I've been designing for 25 years. And that is a disappointment in one respect, but in another one is actually a motivation thing. I try to shift it back into the motivation side of my mind's eye and say, look, I'm aiming to achieve this, this, and this. Yes, I haven't done it just yet, but time is relative, and as long as I'm still breathing, I can still achieve it. So it doesn't bother me nearly as much as what it used to. When I when I hit the age of 30, it really bothered me. When I hit the age of 40, it really bothered me. However, this last year and a half or so, I've learned quite a few extra things and stuff that I've kind of let go of the attachment quite a lot, but still highly motivated to achieve those same outcomes. And it led to a lot of feelings of disappointment, having those comparisons from where I was sitting at those current times, so at those particular times in the past, versus where I saw I would have liked to have been. Instead, it was the tragedy of comparison that was causing me the most unhappiness at those times, and it was adding to other aspects of myself as well, which was a deterioration in my health. It was also an increase in my smoking at the time, of which, as of tomorrow, I quit 10 months ago, so yay me. And I actually, just on the smoking thing, I thought I might have been able to quit years ago, but I was not able to bring that forth into fruition. And for a while, I did beat myself up a little bit about that and stuff. But when I actually achieved that final day of letting go of that hang up and realizing I'd done it, several days later, that I'd actually achieved it and I'd done it successfully, so much so that I didn't actually crave them ever again, and I haven't ever since. You know, it's been quite an amazing revelation as to how much I was holding on to, and how many things I was comparing my mind's eye visual as to what was actually happening in reality. And like I was saying at the beginning of this, it has to do with expectations and comparisons, when we really need to learn to only compare our current state to yesterday of ourselves, and not even to compare ourselves with other people. Okay, there's real trappings there, of it's being in Australia, we have the phrase of keeping up with the Joneses. And I'm not sure if that's in all other countries, but that's a comparison thing again, where this person over here might have a really nice flashy car, and you're comparing it to your shitbox in the driveway. Well, you don't know if that flashy car that they've got is about to be repossessed because they can't actually afford it, and they're just shoestringing the budget and stuff to make it so that they can keep it in the driveway, but everything's actually going askew in their life. You don't know that. All you're seeing is a flashy car. You don't know if the person on the other side of the street was got a really nice house and everything stuff is going through a messy divorce and is about to lose it because they didn't learn the relationship skills. They only learned how to make money, and you don't know anything that's not you. You don't actually know, and you need to let go of those other expectations of knowing, because a lot of them are assumptions. And what's the old phrase that if you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, and it is so relevant, and it has to, it fits in with how we feel in happiness, unhappiness, and when we compare ourselves of where we are now versus where we'd like to be. Or in other cases, again, myself included, in positions of where I've been versus the fall I had to take that followed that. Okay, there was a particular moment several years ago where we had all this abundance, and then we had to make ourselves homeless several years ago and start again. Okay, so it was a case of another type of comparison, where we were comparing ourselves to an abundant part of our past versus a lacking period at that point of time that we were experiencing. We've rebuilt ourselves and stuff several times since then, and so each time it gets a lot easier to understand that as long as we are breathing, as long as we are living, and as long as we have our health, then we have absolutely everything we need. The rest will follow. And it doesn't matter if it stays or if it goes. We try to keep it. We try to keep the abundance around. But if we're meant to learn a particular life lesson, then the universe has that very funny sense of humor that's akin to when you put your jumper on the first thing in the morning and end up punching yourself in the nose. That's the universe's sense of humor. And so if your purpose is actually a higher one than you're currently planned for, then the universe will find a way, your life experience and nature will find a way to kind of put you back on the path it has for you in mind. All right. So I can completely tell you that a lot of the things we've experienced, we did not plan for, you know. However, some of the great things that we did experience, we also didn't plan for. All right. There are many things along the way that we did plan for and that we did actually achieve, and we got to experience those as well. But when you're having this life experience to engage with everything around you, if you're just shutting yourself into a room and isolating yourself away from the rest of the world, then you're going to have a lot less expansive experience. That may be fine for you, that may be part of your experience, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have well, let's put it this way. If you're meant for great things and you've been hiding away a bit in a particular room, right? When you step forth and say to the rest of the world and the rest of your life experience that you're ready to fulfill your greater purpose, nature and the universe may come your way and say, right, if you're saying you're ready, here's this experience, this challenge, this challenge, this challenge, just to catch you back up to speed. All right. And we've gone through those ourselves as well. All right. So we need to understand that our expectations and our plans, no matter how greatly laid our plans are, not all of them come the way that we think they will. All right. One of these experiences and stuff was recently a bit of a low blow in our life, where we had 10 puppies, and we were hoping to create such abundance that we could move to a larger property and actually have them come with us and share that next journey of our lives together with them as well. And unfortunately, that did not take place, and we have had to reduce down to one dog and one puppy, which is why I have not done any of this series for the last couple of weeks. However, the part that enables us to process that, as challenging as that experience is, versus the expectation of hoping to include them in our own little family, is to understand that every life form's journey, every person, every soul, every animal has a different life experience and a different expectation for their life. And We need to understand that no other life form do we own. The only living entity that we have any control over in any regard is ourselves. Okay? I don't own my partner. My partner does not own me. Our beautiful, loving, beautiful 3 children we do not own. They are part of our life experience with us. And as short-lived as some of that was, we're hoping to extend that in the next coming years and stuff when everything happens well again. But we do not own anyone else. Okay? They are not slaves. They are not just our children. They're friends of ours around us. They can come as they go as they please. We don't own our friends. We don't own our parents. We don't own our grandparents. We may have to care for some of them in higher regards for a time, but that doesn't have any indication or merit as to ownership. And this is where another one of those expectations that can really make people unhappy, because especially when it comes to relationships or their children, there's this concept of you're my partner, you're my child, and it's a very toxic concept. All right, our partner we choose for our life to grow with, not grow against, not to own, not to order around, not to control. We choose a partner. If we choose a partner, we choose them to experience our life with us. They're sharing the experience with us. Okay? Our relationships are a sharing experience. They are a growth experience. All right? Many times our partners will actually reveal those parts within ourselves that we struggle within ourselves the most, which is why we also have discussions that can sometimes become a little bit more heated than we would like. All right? It's because they challenge that part within ourselves that we've not been comfortable with revealing yet. Okay? That they bring that out forth. Okay, and it's meant to come forth. It's not to, even our shadow side is not supposed to be kept in the dark. And this is why it's so important to work on our EQ, our emotional intelligence, to understand that the more we heal ourselves, the better experiences we can actually share with others. So the better experience I can share with my wife, the better experience I can share with my kids, the better experience we can share with the puppies while we had them. Okay, and the better experience I get to share with the puppies we have at the moment, like the one puppy and the other dog we have at the moment. Okay, we had to make some really difficult choices, but we understand that sometimes life is a difficult choice. It requires difficult choices if we're going to grow past the traumas and the wounds of the past. Okay, and as challenging as they are, it will only make you unhappier if you're comparing it with the expectation you had in your mind over and over and over again. Okay, so this is how a lot of people really struggle to understand that they're going to be happy again, but they get to choose when they're going to be happy most of the time. Okay, when they let themselves grow past a challenge, grow past a project, grow through an experience. Okay, happiness and unhappiness are both fleeting feelings, and they are side effects on working on everything else. Okay, and it's up to you to get the best results, to show up as your best self. Okay, and it has other benefits as well. When we're feeling our best self, our emotional selves are really responsible for turning on and off our immune system. Okay, because if we're in a state of stress, our immune system, our digestive system will all shut down so that you can deal with whatever the stress is. So if you're constantly stressed, you're going to get sick a lot of the time. You're going to have headaches a lot of the time. You're going to have lots of backaches and back pain a lot of the time, especially if you don't deal with it. And if you're not eating nutritious food to actually help you resolve that conflict so that the nutritious food can have a chance to try and stimulate some of the positive hormones throughout you so that you can feel a moment of pleasure, so that you have the time to turn your immune system back on, okay, then you're going to end up getting sicker if you don't do that, you don't take care of these things, okay. Your actual natural state of a living organism is actually a state of health, all right. We've been told lies all of our lives, okay, that we've been told we need makeup to be beautiful and everything, when you don't actually need it, when a smile will do, all right. Or you'll be told you have to have this particular product if you want to be seen in this particular way, and you don't need to. You can just choose to feel that way. You can feel as good as the person in the ad without having to buy the crap. All right. And when you really sit with that and resonate with it, one, you'll save a shitload of money. But two, your health will improve. You'll feel better more often. And your immune system will be allowed to do its, like, it will allow your immune system to do its job better and more effectively. Okay, so it all ties into each other. And this is why I've devoted so much of my energy into putting this particular series on upgrading your EQ together, because I see it as an epidemic out there. I mean, we've got all these other coaches and stuff helping with fitness and nutrition and all that sort of stuff, but no one's really, I haven't really seen that many working on this aspect. So I thought I would jump in and try to help tackle it. I know Jordan Peterson tackles a fair bit of things. I know Simon Sinek takes care of a few other things over here, and Gary Vee even takes care of a few things over here. But they don't really go through this little alleyway that I've created for this series. So anyway, that was my little bit of a telling on upgrading your EQ for happiness, unhappiness, and expectations. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.